All right, I'm doing a reading for Justin Trudeau. For just the energy of right now and the upcoming energy, I personally can't stand him, so I'm hoping obviously there's the energy of a fall, being dragged out of office. I'm not sure what those cards would look like, but we'll see what comes out. We'll see what comes out. What do the stars have for Justin? What is Justin Trudeau? What's going on behind the scenes with Justin Trudeau? Let's get to the Living Goddess. Okay, so we have, all right, we have the Living Goddess, which also actually aligns with justice. So there might be a little cause and effect, a little ramifications coming for Justin. We also have Puja, purification, and this one aligns with temperance, but this is also cleansing, purification, perhaps washing out of office, perhaps the current will carry him away. And we have transformation, which aligns with the judgment card. Not gonna lie, I'm a little bit happy about the cards that I've just pulled. Obviously projecting while I'm reading this, but this is still what I'm getting. It's like this living goddess, but if you really look at this card, it almost looks like a little prince or princess sitting high up on its hill, you know, looking down on the commoners from this like safe kind of balcony or this gazebo sort of energy, looking down from the top of the mountain. Now, what I like about this is that it's purification, it's cleansing, right? Which I want him to be cleansed out of office, but I'm actually seeing this more as like he's been looking down from up high on this hill because these represent him. We haven't even gone to the future prediction part yet, so I'm just kind of blending these together, but it's like he's up high on the hill looking down on the people, and he's pouring cleansing oils, or like he's pouring into this black egg. Now, black eggs spiritually can mean positive things, but to me, it feels like this sort of poisonous thing that he's growing. And also, you know, there's the cleansing element. There's that, you know, you can map cleansing over to things that have happened historically with people. Let's just say, here, let me anoint you with my oils. Here, let me bathe you. Let me give you the medicinal bath here. Let me give you what you need. But it's creating this black egg. It's insidious. There's an insidious undercurrent to this energy, especially when I pull out transformation, which is a snake crawling up somebody's butt here, which I hope happens to him. I almost feel like this is the snake that hatched from the egg that was being tended to, if you will, the egg that was being hatched in the oven, anointed, oiled, cleansed by the little prince, the princess up on his mountaintop, not interacting with the commoners. But here you go. Here's and you look up here and there's like this jewel, this heavenly jewel from up above. But there's a snake coming up for it. And I feel like it almost is speaking to the thing that he created is now hatching, and it's coming up here back up onto the mountain that he's on, where he won't be safe. Oh, it makes me happy. And you know, this is judgment. This is a wake-up call. This is cause and effect. This is whatever you've been asleep to biting you. You can't ignore it anymore. And, you know, he's a 369 type, and often they can get swept up in other people's agendas and narratives, or their own desire to be part of something, part of the in crowd, if you will, and valued and everything else. And they can get swept into other people's agendas, and then they lose sight of themselves. That's kind of the low side of that combo. And they forget themselves. And I feel like whatever he's abandoned in this process about himself, he's about to be confronted with it. But we'll see. We'll draw. But I'll draw some more cards and just see what else comes out for me. What is future hold for Justin Trudeau? The near future. Okay. Well, okay. So, Seven of Pentacles. That is a reaping what you sow card. So this could be positive or negative. This is basically looking back on what you've already done and assessing the work that you've done. And I do feel like there is that element reflected with the previous cards. It's like there's a cause and effect, basically, with justice and judgment. It's like it's kind of almost got those, even though justice already has like those scales, if you will. It's sort of weighing things against each other. Like, what did you do in pursuit of XYZ? Soon you will be judged for it, kind of is the energy that I'm getting. Ignoring that which ignoring the thing that he knows that he uh, is going to come chase him down in the night, those snakes in the night, those demons, those nightmares that you can't escape because your subconscious knows. And this is kind of the physical reality version of that. The seven of, it's kind of hard to see this card. Okay, so I'm still learning this deck, but I feel like it's appropriate for these kinds of world leader readings. And in this deck, so Seven of Pentacles usually just sort of means is the juice worth the squeeze, and it's like looking over what you've already done, what you've already accomplished or haven't accomplished. Is it worth the hard effort? Should you go in a different? It's like reassessing whatever. And so he could be looking at whatever he's done over the last his tenure as our prime minister, if you will, of Canada. And in this particular deck, it makes a point of showing Lord of Success unfulfilled. So there could be a lot of regret. This is also, you can't really tell maybe in the camera, but this is like a wilting rose. It's that rose emoji, wilting rose emoji with a hand holding it. Holding it by its roots, holding it up, trying to like make it so that it doesn't touch the money, touch the pentacles. So I think he feels like he knows like his star is falling, and it is falling. And I don't know what will happen with that, but I have my hopes. But I do feel like this is him trying to like not let the stink that is constantly pervasive, the stink that probably chases him in every room he goes into, not touch like his fortune or his legacy, which is impossible, I think, at this point. I will say in this deck, this card also can represent like enslavement or imprisonment even. So, one can be hopeful. One could be hopeful. There's been a lot of backroom dealings that have been going on up on this mountain. And we have the stars, the daughter of the firmament. So this card just speaks to recuperation, healing from a tower moment, basically, from everything falling apart. But in this context, I almost feel like it's like delusional thinking or like magical thinking. Like we can see all the different, it's like this swirl of the different astrological symbols. And she kind of looks mangled though. She's like pouring water or oils into this river. And there's also another wheel with astrological symbols. And I almost feel like this is like her trying to be like, everything's going to be okay, right, guys? But there's like all this evidence of these different cycles that have just occurred. And it's like, I feel like this is a karma. Star doesn't mean karma, but I'm seeing there as this like, with the imagery, if you will, there's like this sort of karmic wheel aspect to it where it's like behind her, it's in front of her, and she's just like playing with water, or it's like, oh, and it's more of this sort of purification sort of, and this one means temperance. So I almost feel like it's this dissociation, cleansing of self. But will you be able to wash yourself clean, Justin? You might be trying to do that right now. There might be even some laundering, if you will. There might be some what are the, I don't know any of these like political terms, but it's like, washing the money, cleaning the money, laundering the money, trying to like, there could, and especially because we have Seven of Pentacles and then we have Ace of Pentacles. So I almost feel like there's this feeling of him trying to like wash the money between like this and a new opportunity. The Ace of Pentacles. So it's like he can see that the rose here is dying. It's dying on the vine, like probably his prime ministership. And so he's trying to like get rid of, like, wash out the evidence, get rid of the evidence, clean the slate before he starts. There, he, you know what? He probably has something else lined up, is what Ace of Pentacles is speaking to. There's probably something else that he thinks will be more fruitful, and he's got his eyes on the prize there. Um, Cause and effect, but I really think karma. It's like he might be focused on this thing, but there's like a snake coming for him up from behind that he's not aware of. um, yeah, he probably does have something lined up, like a backup plan or something new that he wants to do, or like something with his, like, maybe it's his foundation, or maybe it's something entirely separate. But I don't think it's gonna work out for you. Or it's just some kind of dark arts thing, the devil here, the king of materialism. Because we have, so yeah, I really do feel like, okay, I feel like he could be like just, trying to do that, like dissociation, washing himself clean of any wrongdoing. And it might be like him also just dissociating generally, but I do feel like it's like trying to erase the tracks before this new thing comes in, or whatever this new venture is, this connection, this, and obviously this is financial with the pentacles. Lord of the root of the powers of earth. Could be green related. He could be doing a lot of greenwashing with this whole climate change thing, like, which is fake if you didn't know that. So it could be him trying to like do that. I don't know. I'm just getting this whole laundering with this repeated imagery of somebody trying to like wash something. It like just gives me this whole like a laundering, greenwashing kind of vibe. And then we have the devil, Lord of the gates of matter, Capricorn, Mars and Saturn. But I think that whatever this thing is, that it's going to end with him being like, this is corruption, right? This is temptation, this is corruption, this is the promise of wealth. This is the promise of everything you've ever wanted, Justin Trudeau, and it's not going to work out for you. It's going to either lead to you being literally imprisoned, or you're going to be like chained to it karmically, or chained to it psychologically in a way that you cannot free yourself from, because eventually karma catches up with people. That's just the laws of the universe. You can't outrun. You can't outrun what you've done. How does this end for Justin? I don't know what the timeline is on this. Ooh, the village. Starborn. Okay, so we have the village and the Starborn, which is super interesting because this is kind of him, his energy. The Starborn, it's like he was a child born into privilege. Like he basically became prime minister because his dad was prime minister. His dad, whether he's biological or not, I don't know, but it is sort of, and like he was born into the village with this kind of princely sort of, here you already have the role handed in front of you, and he's a 369, so he probably just ran with it, right? It's like that, or be a drama teacher. It's like, oh, I'll run for the prime minister. He probably just got sucked into whatever this crazy 1%er shit is. And do I think does that absolve him? No, it doesn't. But I feel like he took his role that he was offered because it would give him what he wanted, which was validation, fame, fortune, security, whatever, a role in the village that was impressive. But now he wears the stink of the last, however many years, and people starting to notice what kind of person he really is. And that's kind of the thing about the village, is like, you live in a small town, even if you're the prime minister of a country, that's your small town because everyone knows you in it. It's like the town hoe bag. It's like, if you sleep with everybody in the town, you basically have to go move somewhere else because everyone will think of you, that you're that person. And I feel like that's what's happened now. The Starborn, it's like you can see that mirror imaging of the egg. It's like he thought that he was creating this perfect egg from on high, but now it's hatching. The egg is cracked. The star, the facade, the image of success, the Enneagram 3 image of success, it's all cracking, and what's inside is a snake. And this is what he's going to be known as forever. Maybe even worse than what he's known as right now. And then we have the vow, which is a broken contract. Look, severed hands, false promises, promises that weren't kept, lying, deceiving to get something, and karma. It's messy karma. it's the dove flying away, the dove flying away saying like, oh, I don't want any part of this. Um, someone is left holding the bag, or someone literally loses their hand if you know what I mean. It's like back in the old days they used to chop off hands if you were caught stealing. It almost has this energy of like the town knows like that he's a thief, or the town will know that he was a liar and a thief and he broke his promises. And then the animal, it sort of gives me this energy of almost being cast out from the village for being a monster, being cast out, sent back into the wild where you belong, you monster. Like, or even, you know, with the flames in the background of the mountain here with the village, it's almost a Frankenstein kind of energy of like burn down the tower, burn down the beast. Like, um, oh, I like that. Yeah, wolf and chasing after the beast, the villagers coming after the beast. Sort of, he didn't keep his promises. He was lying. The werewolf that's been skulking around killing people in the night. And then by day, he's like, you know, it's like the Jekyll and Hyde thing. By day, he's very nice. He's that nice, shiny politician. He used to be a drama teacher with that great hair, except for when they made him do that humiliation ritual and they gave him the Dumb and Dumber hair, which was amazing. And by night, he's like a horrible beast. And I feel like this is the village recognizing, seeing the cracks now, the serpent, the beast. It's all coming back to the devil. It's like all falling apart. I think, yeah, I really feel like, especially with justice and judgment opening up there, I feel like he's like, he's going to be like, this is his image being destroyed, basically. I don't know how long it will take, mind you. Could do, well, I could try to do a reading for timelines. Let's see. When is this potentially going to happen? Ten of Swords. Lord of Ruin. Yeah, Ten of Swords. So, I mean, that basically says it all. Lord of Ruin. But when will that happen? So, I mean, you could go literally 10 months from now, or the 10th month, which would be October. But we also have the sun, which is summer. And we have, right here, we have Gemini, which would be June, July. So, could be somewhere between the summer and the fall, maybe between that sort of June, October period, that maybe something happens. Or November if you go 10 months from now. So June to November, something might happen. One can dream. One can really dream. I don't even know when the next Canadian election is or whatever, because he did that crazy maneuver that screwed up everything. So, but I don't know much about politics, but I like how this is looking for the Canadian public. Let's just leave it at that. That, Justin?